Hello there, crowd. I've not recorded a YouTube video for a little while. Hope that you're all doing well. There's no getting away from it, I'm afraid, chaps. That there are those awkward conversations you've been avoiding, the difficult things that you've been putting off, but in success, there's no room for procrastination nor for perfectionism. It's messy, and believe me, my inner perfectionist screams frequently at me, saying you're going to get that wrong, or you don't know what you're doing, all of this stuff. I know that the script is running practically all the time. It's only since doing therapy now for a consistent amount of time that I realise just how much I've been my own worst enemy. But the point of being on the planet is not to have a perfectly devised plan and stick to every dotted I and every crossed T. It doesn't work that way. And there are a handful of exceptions that prove the rule, that you look at people that have this wondrous, marvellous plan where they know exactly what they're going to be doing at whatever precise time, on whatever day, etc., etc. But you tend to find that those people, they lack warmth. There's a sort of stony coldness to them, and that's not what we're about, really. I, for my part, am an incredibly creative and artistic man, and I want that to shine actually in everything that I do. And as you can see, I'm freshly shaved for you today. It's been quite a wet and windy walk, but I was thinking earlier about Jordan Peterson and how he actually came to the meteoric success that he did. And this was in sort of the 2017 kind of period, I think. I mean, it's all so long ago and so much has happened, but he did come to prominence basically on a platform of sorting yourself out, being more disciplined, having a firm aim in mind. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with knowing where you're going, why you want to get there. But the path that you need to carve out is going to be a messy one, because the more that I sort myself out, the more I realise that the key to getting stuff done is facing what's immediately in front of you and not constantly jumping 5, 10 or 5,000 steps ahead. And there's pace and there's speed for the sake of speed. And when I'm on Twitter, you see all kinds of behaviour. I still don't know whether to call it X or not. I can't bear it. But you see people behaving in all kinds of ways. And there's this one guy who pops up in my feed a lot, and he's doing the reply guy thing. And if you haven't heard of that, it basically means that you just go through basically every single post and you leave very short remarks. And I hate to say it, it's not very brotherly or supportive of me, I have to admit, but they're very dull, you know. And all these sort of abbreviations that the youth use these days, you know, capital G and small lowercase m for good morning, all these kind of things. Just write out the whole thing, doesn't take that much longer. But they're all fairly innocuous. But then I did stop to think, well, yeah, I can be a bit of a bitch and complain that his replies aren't very exciting or dynamic, but he is marketing himself and he is letting his face be known. And you know, the more replies that he does and the more awareness there is of him, people are going to click on his profile and they're going to buy his product or service. And I thought, yeah, stop being a miserable old cunt and just be encouraging. And if one can do a better job, then get to it. And that's the point. We want passion and dedication and consistency. We don't want perfection. We don't want to be engaged in purity spirals, frankly. And with everything that's been going on recently, I mean, obviously there are so many different factions and different people talking about, you know, that lady that was the Ukrainian refugee in the States who was stabbed on the train, and just awful, totally senseless and violent, and literally in almost the same breath you get the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and there are people saying, oh, he's not dead, and the person that you saw in that picture is not the same as the person in this picture. But you know, you look at the images and you think, well, yeah, but look at that, that's clearly faked, it's clearly AI'd, and everybody's infighting and vying for supremacy, and they want their version of events to be the right one, so they get all of the accolades and they get all the attention and they get all of the fame and money and the collaborations, you know, and it's all really undignified. And you know, I don't always succeed in this, but I do try to act with dignity and integrity. And actually, after talking about that reply guy, you know, to admit my faults and do a better job myself, you know, it's it's all rather humbling, isn't it? But you know, we'll go with the fact that that sweet young boy, I mean young, 31 years old, and you think, wow, he was an 18-year-old who didn't go to college, didn't go to university, and he started up an organization that in part got Donald Trump elected to the White House. And I think, well, I'm complaining about people not using capital letters in their replies on Twitter posts, and you think, that guy, he really did something. He created something really beautiful and meaningful, and he rallied the troops, you know, he inspired people, and apparently in his wake, tens of thousands of people have applied to open new Turning Point chapters. So I can't stand in judgment when he had such a short but such a full and influential life, and it actually has led me to small gesture perhaps in comparison, but change my Twitter handle and this YouTube channel to Martin of Mercia, because before we were a United Kingdom, we actually were a sort of a conglomeration, the heptarchy it was known as, of different kingdoms, and where I am here in Derbyshire was part of the Kingdom of Mercia, and its largest, it actually extended all the way down to London, so big, very big, and separated off from Wessex by Offa's-dyke, as in King Offa, you know. So I thought, and I've shaved myself, got myself all nice and neat and clean and tidy for you, but it's the only thing that's going to be neat and tidy. The rest of the progress is very much going to be spontaneous action, hello there, and basically making it up as I go along, seeing what sticks, seeing what works, seeing what resonates, and doing that consistently. And that's where the real growth happens. It's not in having the perfect plan. It's having the right purpose for who you are as a man, and for executing and implementing all the things that you're learning on a daily basis, as often as you can, with heart and soul and integrity. That is most definitely the way to win. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe and share to spread this very important message. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now, folks.